What's good? What's good, everyone? Thank everyone for who came over and listened to the synopsis for the study material for the day in the previous stream. Um, Here we have Lawrence on the panel, and I guess we'll do some shout outs real quick before we get started. Black Curls, Rocky, and of course Marco Grande. Thank y'all for coming out. Peace, fellas. Oh, here we go, Black Curls. Yeah, peace, peace.
And
Oh,
shout out to Jay Wolf. He just
yeah,
popped in.
yeah. Shout out to Jay Wolf as well. Peace, all y'all. Hopefully, y'all are having a great day. It ain't gonna be too long because I do want to check out the Super Bowl today. I don't look at much TV, but I'm gonna check that out. I hardly ever look at TV to be honest. Now, I check out more content on YouTube and different stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be mandatory content, but check out different stuff like that. So, welcome to the panel, Lawrence and Black Curls.
Yeah, people gonna start wondering if I just got a cot up in here, man.
It's all right. It's all right. So I guess we'll start off. I'll be by asking, so what did y'all think of the lesson plan as far as testing everything? Because of the simple fact how you'll hear a lot of so-called Bible people or Christians or for whatever religious term, lack of better term, they'll say, there is no actual science in the Bible, but testing is science. Testing what someone is telling you to be so and testing to make sure it is so is science. So, that's why, I had that face, want to get that face of Mark Lawrence up there, that, yeah, right. Look, so what are y'all, your thought on this, gentlemen?
Um, Black Curls, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I was just gonna let you go
We
first, Lawrence.
actually, I'm always up here, man. I'll let you go. I'll let you go first, and while you do that, I'll be right back in a second as well.
All
All
right,
right.
yeah, no problem. So, yeah, the Bible does tell us to test, and like you said earlier, testing is a form of science because the Bible doesn't have a problem, or God doesn't have a problem with us questioning anything. That's why we have free will. If He didn't want us to question stuff, why the hell would He give us free will in the first place to question it?
Exactly, exactly. And also, as was outlined in there in the scripture, testing it is a part of actually making sure that the information you're receiving and that the person you're receiving that information from, that they're valid, they're not corrupt, and they're not full of shit.
Ah, man, last night, these dudes who are full of shit. Oh my gosh. Yep, this Bible really applies to lessons. You really have a way of synthesizing current times with the Bible right now, Isaac.
Well, that was the other reason I made. That was the main reason I made this challenge. So I wanted to point out from the beginning that this channel is for men because I wanted to apply the logical aspects and concepts of the Bible that you can use in your everyday life. Because I mean, if you can't use it for your everyday life, what good is it? I didn't want to focus on all the emotional stuff. I didn't want to focus on the mystical stuff that hey, look, I ain't never seen it, I ain't never experienced it. So I can't, I'm not going to talk on it, but I can talk on the practical and pragmatic aspects that we all can use to apply to our everyday lives.
Right. Spot on, Isaac.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm back.
Oh, that's good.
I can't disagree with that either. I mean, I wish there was something to be able to say, but it's so much common sense to us that there's really no way for us to put it in words other than what was already said.
Yeah, what's a simpler way of saying 1 + 1 is 2?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, how you know that? That's the white man's math.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, crying out loud.
I mean, that's what you hear all the time.
No, I've heard that plenty of times, and I've heard it from white people too.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's even funnier. Wow,
Oh
that's
yeah,
great.
yeah. There was
Well, I mean,
a college professor who actually taught math in college a little while back. Female. She said that. Yeah. Of course, that makes sense. Yeah, it should be removed because the math is racist or something like that. And I'm like, but you're eliminating your own position, chick. I'm like,
how are facts racist? No, they're
I
not.
have no idea, man. I have no idea.
That's why, when it comes down to racial stereotypes, I don't even want to say racial, because I mean, it's proven in science that all human beings, there's only 0.08 to 0.112 of a difference of us all genetically, including hair texture, skin color, eyes, all that stuff. So everything that's different about us is cultural, for the majority of everything. So yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. Oh, and Marco, if you want anything, you need to ask Agon questions to point out up here. All you gotta do is say the word, and I will shoot you the link, bro.
But as far as it goes for testing, I mean, regardless of what you believe or format or system you follow, everything you do in life is you test. I mean, even as a newborn baby, I mean, you test your strength by the first time you try to crawl across the floor to get from one thing to something else that you really want. You start testing yourself on tables to stand up and take your first steps. I mean, life is a test, man. So I mean, whether you read the scriptures or didn't, I mean, you were doing it anyway.
Right. And the other thing to point out too is, when we're talking about this space, it's usually not those things that you said that end up being the issue with the testing. It's the I feel ass niggas.
Oh, the emotional ones.
Yeah. I feel ass niggas. That I consider them, as Marco would say, bitches.
Well, like I told you before, like I said before, they're bitches with dicks. That's what I call them. So, and I believe the first person I named that was my brother. So, if I remember correctly, I do remember that conversation very well. But I remember he was the first person I used that term on. So,
there you go, then.
And like the saying goes, the truth is the truth. So
yeah, I forgot the other one. He says putos.
Yeah, that's Marco. Yeah, that's Marco. Yeah, that's Marco. Yes, I think that's the first word I ever heard him say.
At first, it used to be bitches. Now it's putos. That's right.
That must have been before. That must have been before my time, because like from the first time I met Marco, it was always putos. So I mean, that's all I've known. Well, where he's concerned, anyway. But like I said, they're just, they're bitches with dicks. That's. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. I don't. And here's what's odd to me. As human beings, male or female, we're all emotional. It's just the genders handle it differently. Men are generally taught to tap it down and control it, not hide it, but control it to your advantage and use it the way you need to. Where women, generally do the opposite. Now but I also have to be prepared that some young brothers don't want to be saved either.
Oh, you're right. I mean,
it's a thin line. It's a thin, tricky line, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we pretty much do have to accept that. But the only, like I said, the only thing we can do is just keep putting this factual information out here that can be applied to make it for them to choose themselves. It's up to them.
Yeah.
With the whole fact spitting, we already know a lot of dudes, niggas here can't handle the truth. So the main time we can spit facts is if they come to us, because if you obviously go to their territory, they're gonna shut you down, so you can't really spit the facts as is. So,
right.
Well, it depends. It depends on where you're at. I mean, like I said, I've been here. I've been on zeros. I've been on MOTs. I've been on Agons, and like I said, the brothers, look, they've shut me down if I'm wrong. I mean, it's just part of growing up, man. I mean, you just can't argue facts, man. I mean, if you're wrong, you're wrong. Like Agon says, take the L and keep it moving. And I think I've said this quite some time ago. Taking an L doesn't make you less than a man. I don't know why people think that. Taking an L has nothing to do with manhood, nothing at all. That's about self-correction. And when you have enough brothers who care enough to even give you that, you know, because let's be real. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all friends in a virtual reality. We're not friends on the out. Well, some of us are, but the vast majority are not friends on the outside reality. You know, because at the end of the day, MOT don't owe me nothing. But yet he takes the time. If I got something wrong, he'll show me where I got it wrong and show me the facts. Same thing with Zero. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Aegon. Same thing with Eisen. Same thing with Marco, Black Curl, Sir Abadiah, whoever you want to call. So taking an L has nothing to do with being less than a man. Nothing. It just means you got people who care enough about you to want to see you do better. That's what you take from that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pick that ball up, man. You run the court with that motherfucker, and you take it all the way. And the Most High willing, some of those brothers who helped you get there, you can take along with you.
Right.
That's a good day to me. You know, it might be overly naive, but it's still a good day to me. You know.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's something to really take notice of, is that all this information and the constructive criticisms that these guys have, it's important for us as supposed to be men to not get emotional and have that emotional reaction negatively to what they're saying. That way we can use it to help us grow. I mean, it was the other thing I wanted this channel to be about, you know, to help individual guys find out more about themselves so they can develop themselves using the information that we provide here. You know, like the old saying is, you know, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. So the whole point was for me to let them know, hey, it's water out here.
Right. And that goes back to what I said earlier. Some brothers just don't want to be saved. Exactly. And guess what? That's okay.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Everybody ain't meant to be saved.
Exactly.
It's some people that are just literally meant to be freaking stumbling blocks. They're meant to be a problem. For us to overcome, to learn more about ourselves.
And that goes back to what the topic's about, testing. They're here for us to test our convictions, to test where we stand firm in our truth, and the whole 9 yards. Again, we're testing.
Right.
I mean that's just how it works, you know. And you know, like you said, everybody, you know, can't be saved, and like I've said many a times, everybody shouldn't be saved.
Right.
I mean, even the Most High himself is 2/3 he's taken out. so who am I to sit here and go contrary to that and try and save all of it? Nah. I mean.
Well, I mean, you can anyway. So it's
exactly. But even if I could, who am I to do contrary to what his overall plan is? I mean, he already told us point blank, everybody's not going to be saved. He told us.
Right.
And like you said, he took away the majority, so the majority can't be saved as is.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. So like I said, you know, some can't be saved, and like he says, some shouldn't, and they won't. You know, we reach out, we reach out our hands for those who's willing to grab it and do the work, then great. You know, right. and the same thing applies. There'll be some who will grab our hand, and they only grabbing our hand because they want to go along for the ride without putting the work in. So we have to also be able to open our hands and let that hand go and let them fall too.
Right.
You know, in that respect, I agree a lot with Complex Design when he talks about, you know, tapping into your inner megalomaniac, because that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to build that strength inside of ourselves that we're going to have to cut brothers off. We're going to have to let them go, regardless of how we feel about them, regardless of what the connection is. You know, if they're not doing what they're supposed to, bounce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know? Because even with this whole B1 BS they like to do, they pretend like you can't cut anybody off. I'm like, if they're an obvious liability, get rid of them. You're talking so much crap about liabilities that are avoiding you. Like, let it go.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, you know, I say all the time, you know, it don't bother me about them. Let them go. My thing is like, I put in the chat before. Look, they want to be miserable. I want them to be miserable. I just want them to be miserable. I want them to live out their lives in misery and die in peace with that misery. I want them to live over there miserably and not have to come and bring it to me. Just stay over there. Stay over there with your misery, and we'll both be better for it.
And you know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? that would make you and I, I mean, everybody else has these thoughts too. They either fall in your camp or they fall, because what you're saying is how I used to feel. Where I'm at now is I don't even care enough for that. Which means getting to a point where none of it matters, as long as it's not in my space.
That's why I said over there. That's why I said stay over there with it.
Well, yeah, that's right. You sure did. I'm sorry. You sure did say that over there. Yeah. But as far as it goes for them living through it and what they got to go through, whether they go through pain,
stay over there. But like I said, my whole thing is, hey, look, if you like it, I love it, but just keep that misery over there.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't negatively affect me, I'm okay with it. Just be yourself.
Absolutely. Hey, Brown Bird, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's good, Brown Bird?
Peace to all you Chiefs, man. How y'all doing today, man?
Good. Shalom.
I'm learning to stay out the fuck shit. You feel me? Like, like I felt like maybe this is related to the manosphere, but I tell people prevalently, I've been here for 6 months. And my whole mission when I got here is to connect with brothers that's on the same path as me, and it's too many times like, you'll see the nonsense that's going on, but I understand it's a better picture in store, and I may come across as a person that likes to debate and likes to be all funny and comical, but I said, regardless of anything, maybe this was a signal from the Most High, and I'm a spiritual man. That's why I say that. My whole goal was to always say, hey, look, listen, regardless if I connect with y'all virtually or in real life, as long as I understand that brothers of this generation is moving towards a positive direction, that makes me happy. We gotta stand on our squares and be about ourselves to move better in a better direction. So that's what I always cared about.
Yeah, and hey, great point. That's why, for me, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to, for no other better lack of term that I can think of offhand, for niggas, I'm done. I think that it just needs to be Sodom and Gomorrah. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. I just think everything should burn, and then the 2% that are left, who can actually do something and produce something productive, I want to see them do that. I want to see them create something better, because everybody's still worried about trying to save a house that's
it's on fire.
It's already falling.
It's already falling in and on fire. Ain't no saving it. My thing is, I just let it burn, and then the people that are capable, that are left, build something new, and the individuals that are not, they're an enemy, and don't let them come in. Treat them as such.
Yeah, because using the collapsed house analogy that you guys just had, here's what's funny about it, and this is just truth. This is fact, 100%. You got all of us in the building. Some of us ran out of the building because we saw it falling down. Everybody else sat in there denying the facts, and then it caved in on them. And then some of us who did make it out has the audacity to go in and try and rescue the idiots who didn't get out the first time when they saw it coming.
Or you got idiots that they trying to hold it up, trying to keep it from falling down when it's already more and more falling on top of it. Yeah.
Well, that works two ways, because it's gonna happen. Both of those are gonna happen. But see, one digging out is men, holding it up is women. It's trying to save women. That's what that digging them out is trying to save the men. Holding it up is trying to save the women. That's pussy.
Oh well, to me they're the same. To me they're all women. So
I'm just being an ass right now, to be honest with you. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's bad across the board.
Putos. Exactly. Yeah. It's all the same.
Putos, holes, bitches with dicks. It's all the same. Niggas, it's all the same. It's all the same. But going to what Brownberg was saying though, that's the game plan. I mean, that's the game plan. You come in, you find a group, you find a group or a channel or whatever, where it's positive and it's productive and it's to build something. And you like I said, you take the ball and you run with it. you pick out what works for you as best you can, and then you activate it. That's why we have so many different versions. I mean, just because everybody doesn't learn the same way. Everybody doesn't interact the same way when it comes to acquiring or absorbing knowledge. That's why I like where I'm at right now, because if you want the cold, hard, concrete stats and statistics, you go to 0. If you want to focus on a business aspect where building wealth to some degree, you go to MOT. You want to find balance and get your head and your heart lined up together, you come here. And when you need a break from everything and you just need to have just some straight up fun and silliness, you go to Aegon. And the funny part is even with Aegon, even in that fun and silliness, there's still stuff to be learned.
Right.
Because I've come up there and done business. Morning Blue has come up there and done business. Complex Design has come up there and done business. Judzilla come up there and does. So even in play, you're still learning. And that's the beauty of the channels I just, and there's more, don't get me wrong, but just off the top of my head, and each one has their own delivery style. Each one has their own classroom method. You know what I'm saying? Because what you learn, how you learn from your English teacher is not how you're going to learn from your math teacher. You feel me? Each teacher has their own classroom. Right. Yeah. Each teacher has their own classroom style and subject matter. And that's the beauty of everybody that I just named, and then and others as well, And like I said, that's the everything Brownberg said. That's the whole point of it. You come in here, you test the waters on each one, you find out which one works for you. That becomes your primary focus. But all the other ones, you don't just shut out. They just become a more it gives you a broader viewpoint, perspective, techniques, whatever have you may. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
And yeah, and for some of us, it was a long time coming. Right. I mean, Brownberg, like he said, I think you said 6 months, Brownberg.
Yeah, I was here for 6 months.
6 months. Okay, so for me, I started in an outward kind of curious way. Started about 3-4 years ago, but actually being in it and being part of it and interacting, that would be like the last year and a half. So some find it sooner, some find it later. But the fact of the matter is it's here to be found. And sometimes you got to go through the weeds of the nonsense with others before you find it. But when you do, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah. And I was in this space for like 3 years. And then when the pandemic happened, that's when I actually became more invested into this space. So I had more time to be in this space. I wasn't traveling or moving around so much. And that's when I actually started connecting with channels and everything. And that's when I started getting all the financial tips and everything. So I could actually have like a net worth.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And great. My bad, Lawrence. I'm gonna just say this one thing.
No. Take your time. I didn't hear you. That's why. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I was going to say the great thing about it is that it's intergenerational. So I'm in my 20s. I'm pretty sure Black Curls is in his 20s, and then it's like y'all are older ones. So it's always something to be taught on every angle. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that people don't understand it because they think at a surface level, or it's just a bunch of Black men just being haters and all that shit. And it's like you don't even understand the half, bro. Like you don't get it. But I'm not going to talk on negativity. But I just think that when it's always brothers that can get along regardless of what age bracket, that's what makes it essential. You know what I'm saying? And
No, I agree. I agree. And that's one of the not the only, but one of the biggest stumbling blocks, because you have to be willing to give yourself a chance to open up your mind. Right. You know what I mean? Because we've all got horror stories about older brothers who fucked us up. I mean we just do. If we don't have stories, we got friends who have stories. If we don't have that, we've seen older men do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But definitely the fact that it's intergenerational, I think it's huge. I think it's huge because each generation can explain what they saw from their perspective, and come together to match it up with the next generation after that, so on and so forth. And like I said, there's never going to be a lot of us. It just isn't. Right. It's just not how it's built to work.
And I think the other thing that's important to remember is that each generation has individuals that have quality information to give out. Yeah. I mean, you'll find there's a lot of guys in their 20s who have some great information.
Yep.
I mean, one of the brightest, youngest ones that I think of off the top of my head is C-Sid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And not only does he have the information, man, he's his life shows that he's focused on his career, and he's doing things that that are beneficial to him in his future. So I mean, him and how he operates, is a great example for anyone of any age.
Yeah. I agree. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, man. I'm highly impressed. I mean, of different ages, man. We got some highly intelligent brothers here, man. I mean, not to get all emotional, but it makes an older brother have hope. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, it just does. Just figuring it out, education, street knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Following the right path, getting yourself together spiritually, financially. Whatever, physically, whatever it may be, man. It's a good day.
Yeah.
It's a good day, and like I said, all the other channels that I was at before, it's the same thing, it's doing nothing but arguing all the time, or it's all about the pussy, and all that
stuff in general that
just
line up where you're at right now.
Yeah, just gutter stuff. Just outright gutter stuff, And just like you told me before, again, I have to understand that I'm older, so I'm in a different mindset. And that's absolutely true. But at the same time, regardless of what age you are, there's some things we just should not be getting all wrapped up in with nonsense. We just shouldn't. Because it serves no purpose to us as a whole.
Well, yeah, it doesn't serve no purpose to the whole. But you begin to find out it does serve a purpose to these individuals, because you begin to find out that they, they're con artists.
Well, yeah. Well, in the short language, that's exactly what they are.
So they're selling dreams to inexperienced young guys who are still learning themselves, who haven't figured out who they are for the most part. So they're an easy target for them to make $1 off of.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they haven't made $1 from me.
Black girls, because you're the anomaly. You're the one that's smart. You're the one that's breaking away from the program.
Yeah. And I got to be honest with you, even being an older brother, there were a couple, I didn't see them for what they originally were. They got dollars off me. I ain't even gonna lie about it. Not much, but they got some. Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's the whole thing about the generational thing that we were talking about. Because with me being like the stories I share about my life and everything I've gone through, it's about letting brothers know, regardless of the age, dude, this game is rigged. No matter what age you start at or where you come into it from, the game is rigged. And I share those stories because I want them to be learning tools. Right. You know, so that next time you out somewhere and you see something, you be like, damn, that's just what Lawrence just got finished talking about last week. Okay, I got to keep an eye on this. Check that red flag. And that's all I want. That's all I want, because I know everybody's got different lives, but just to be aware enough to keep an eye out for this, that, and etc.
I actually have a story that actually relates to like manosphere talking points. Mm-hmm. Well, not really talking points, they're actually facts. And then I was talking to my coworkers about the market, and I'm like, I'm not investing in XXX these stocks like GameStop and yada yada. He invested it, he lost money. Me and my other coworkers who are aware of the stock market, we're just laughing like, oh man, this guy shouldn't have invested at all. I'm like, I'm glad it didn't mess up my money trying to waste it on these stocks. Like they were just hopping on a wave like everyone else versus the people who are aware of the truth.
Yeah. And like I said, I used to work for Smith Barney investment firm. So doing stocks and stuff like that for clients, I get it. But me, myself personally, I've never invested in stocks, at least not that kind of stuff. I usually just focus on commodities and penny stocks. If it goes wrong, I mean, the amount you lose is nominal at best. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't do anything outside those two. I just don't. I mean, you got a lot of tech companies that went bad. You could literally go in there and get penny stocks on them and just wait for the next big thing to happen and flood it over to there. And the next thing you know, you went from penny stocks to valuations of $15 a share. I mean, it's a game. I mean, literally, actually, it's not even a game. Let's call it for what it is. It's gambling. I mean, literally, it's gambling. No ifs, ands, or buts to it. It's straight up gambling. And and the thing about gambling is, and this is where people fail with gambling, you always have to understand, if you're going to gamble, make no mistake, the house always wins.
Hey, Isaac, real quickly, my laptop's dying. I'm going to jump to my phone. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a lot of people don't take in consideration. They just, throw the money in, keep their fingers crossed, that kind of things. I mean, you can look at reports and figure out, what possibilities could exist. But at the end of the day, the house always wins, always. So if you go into it playing it like that, you'll find that you're a lot more successful than just randomly following a group or another person because of what they said. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Isaac. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you don't want to just randomly be following someone without testing that information out to make sure it is valid.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and it comes right back to the testing, because like everybody's like tech stocks. Here's the thing about tech stocks. Anybody with common sense knows that as soon as you got a technology that kicks in, 6 months later, it's going to be outdated or replaced by something else that's going to be even better than that. So you got a 6-month window to try and make a profit, which 9 times out of 10, you can't, because you have to keep your stocks in for a certain amount of time to be able to make a profit. You know what I mean? I mean, look how fast the computer industry jumped. I mean, every 6 months there was a new type of motherboard. There was a new type of memory chip. I mean, it was every 6 months it was just kept jumping. So tech stocks, I'm not saying you can't make money off of them, but it has a higher risk than, say, me, for instance, with commodities. At the end of the day, there's always going to be a need for soybean. There's always going to be a need for orange juice.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay. There's always going to be a need for things that people need. That's why, I focus on commodities and real estate. Outside of that, I buy and sell businesses. Buy them if they're going down, buy them, fix them up, flip them, make a profit, or buy them and find somebody else who's looking to acquire it and then get a commission off that, and so on and so forth. I used to do the stuff everybody else does, chasing after anything and everything that's the hottest thing at the moment, but they never last.
Yeah, I get that too.
I mean, how many decades was it that the top dog on the computer field was Dell? You don't hear nothing. You don't hear nothing about Dell no more. You know, and then and because again, it's like anything else with technology. Eventually, it reaches a point where the people who create the technology end up being outdone by the people they sold it to. Because what's the first thing most tech heads do? They get the item and they take it apart to see how it works. And then when they do that, they start putting up YouTube videos to show other people how to do it. So now Dell Computers becomes obsolete because anybody can go to any computer supply place, buy all the parts, and put it together for half, if not less, than the price you would have bought it from Dell in their store.
Right.
I know because I've done it. That's how I learned to build computers. So.
And even with the popular following, I noticed the pattern. Once those influencers start big upping a product or service, that's when I'm like, nope, better stay away from it because that's when it's at its peak, and then that's when it's gonna go downhill.
Yep, that is correct. And thank you, Blaze. That was the perfect phrase. It's fleeting and it's subject to continued innovation. That's exactly the phrase. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, technology is advancing very fast and faster than many people expected. Obviously, we don't have like the collective hovering vehicles, for transportation, but yeah.
So, that's one of the things that goes back to what you and Brownberg were saying about the importance of intergenerational conversations like this, because what you see from your age, from the technological perspective, which is always going to be better than mine, the same way mine was better than the generation before me. I mean, each generation has its own tech that it understands better than the previous generation. But your knowledge of that tech and my knowledge of years of practice on how the system works combined can make a very good, profitable day. You know what I mean? So, or if you got a new innovation, and you figured out how to make it work, you might not know who or where to go to make the networks or connections that you need to push it forward. Somebody like me who's been in it for 30 plus years, okay, I can make a phone call here, send an email there, that kind of thing. That's why the intergenerational conversations are important, because we can learn from each other. The same way I can show you what you're missing, you can show me the new tech I don't know about. That's good stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Liam could just have you at the phone call. Hey, Lawrence, I just need this connection into, the IT department. Could you hook me up?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
No, I was using Liam as an example. Like, hey, Lawrence, I need this connection so I could, spread out my product or service or my expertise for this IT company. Could you hook me up?
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny. Okay, we're using him as an example. He gets to where he gets. If I have an IT or tech problem, I'm calling him.
Right.
Liam, okay, this is what I got. What do I need to do? And he'll be like, okay, well, you need this, that, and et cetera, and so on. I can come do it for you. Okay, cool. And I will pay him. You know what I mean? Because just because we cool don't mean you work for me for free either. That's something else we got to learn to understand.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's still business, and that's where you have to learn to separate your emotions from it. That's one of the reasons why everybody says you can't go into business with family, because there's just too much damn emotion. But if I called Liam, it's like, I need this, I need that, yada yada, and Liam said, okay, well, this is how much it's going to cost. I'm not going to blink. I expect him to charge me. That's his living. That's his career. I expect it. Regardless of whatever influence I played in it is irrelevant. That's still his job. He got to feed himself. And to do otherwise makes me the bad guy, not him.
And that's one thing I don't like about donations, because donations just gives it to the person and they could just squander it wherever they want. And I prefer an investment kind of standpoint, because I'm like, okay, I'm investing in you and you have to actually meet these standards, because I'm not just going to give you something you just squander whatever I give you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No doubt. As a matter of fact, I remember when I told Liam about hooking him up with one of my military brothers who was into that. And I told him point blank, man, don't embarrass me. Because this is my name and my reputation on the line. You know, and it wasn't being mean, it was just being factual. Because, you know, if I send the wrong person to Tony, you know, Tony's gonna come at me and he's like, yo, dude, what the hell? I was like, what? This dude's fucked up. And then after that, you know, it's gonna be like, you know, we're gonna talk to the rest of the military guys. And now I'm looking stupid. So the next time I have somebody else that I want to bring, and especially if the sad part is that person really is good, you know, it would have damaged the reputation.
Yeah, they wouldn't trust you.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be like, yeah, you know, man, not this time, man. You know, after the last one, yada yada. And I couldn't get mad at them for that. I couldn't. You know, that's why I've always been very, very picky. I've had people come to me for recommendations. Nope, can't do it. It's like, well, why not? We've known each other for yada yada. That means nothing to me.
Yeah. No, that means everything because I know how you really are.
Yeah. From that perspective, yeah. Because I know back in the day before I got into the headspace that I am now with women and stuff like that, I know my man Lawrence had a young lady who I knew her family, her entire family actually, Judy, and Judy had came and was trying to get some kind of job. And she asked, and Lawrence came and said, yeah, well, Judy's trying to do this, and you know, she really doesn't have that much work history. Why can't you can you write her a recommendation? And I looked at him, I said, no. And he's like, what? I said, no. He said, well, why not? I said, because of my experience with you the last time you asked me for a recommendation. Your wife's from Nigeria. I gave her a recommendation and listed her working for my company. Then after that, she wanted to bring her mother and her brother over from Nigeria. I used my connections and networking to write to the United Nations and used my history from the military, helped them get over here. And once everything was done, what's the first thing they do? Started treating me like shit. So no, sir, I can't. I'm not doing it anymore. Because again, it goes back to what I said. I did it because of what he said. So now his reputation is damaged with me. And anybody else who knows me, because if they come to me and say, well, Lawrence asked me, I'm going to, nope, don't do it. That's exactly what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Salute, MOT.
Oh, MOT, what's up, man? I didn't even see you pop in. I'm sorry. What's good?
Yeah, you muted there if you.
Yeah,
you muted MOT.
Yeah. But
and MOT knows what I'm talking. And MOT knows what I'm talking about with the whole United Nations thing too, because he was MP. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. That ain't no small fucking thing to do.
And while MOT is doing what he's doing, I'm gonna say for all y'all that don't know or may have forgotten, it might not caught up, but MOT and Sigma Jones are doing their one-on-one tonight. I believe it'll be at 9 Central. Check that out. It's sure to be some good content from the both.
Oh, I'm gonna love that. Yeah, folks with Sigma Jones heavy. So
yeah,
most definitely great.
Yeah, I'm definitely checking that out for sure.
Yeah. I may end up checking out more of the replay because I'll probably fall asleep being I have to get up so early. But I'm gonna check out everything I can. So I know that's gonna be a great one.
Yeah. But, so whose channel is it on? MOT's? Or
yeah, it's gonna be on MOT's.
On MOT's? Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, I'm definitely checking that out for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely checking that out. Brown Bird said he's coming back as soon as he gets his phone.
Yeah, I caught that.
All right. But MOT is still on mute, man. So I don't know if you can hear us or not. But
yeah. Also, Unspecialist said I think he's about to hop on too.
Yeah, he said
and MOT just dropped off.
Okay.
Yeah, we just lost MOT.
Yeah, okay. I gotta send a specialist the link here.
Yeah. But oh, he had an MOT said he had an incoming phone call.
I figured that's probably it. I figured that was why he was on mute.
Yeah, he does get a lot of calls on a Sunday, that's for sure.
He probably gets a lot of calls, period. He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of information to give out. So he already knows as soon as he gets a chance and we're still live, he can come on anytime.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brown bird back, and I just sent it on specialist. So
cool. So the testing thing, you know, I think for the most part, as far as it goes for us in our particular space, I think we do it well. I think we could be better at it, but the fact of the matter is we're at least doing it, you know, because we have kind of like checks and balances, so to speak. So like for me, you know, I have you, Eisen. When I have to check something or test it or whatever, I call you. Okay. You know, because we do that. And then it just depends on what the subject matter is. Because like the shelter, for instance, I know you've seen it, but I also have new and I have MOT look at it. Because MOT, from a businessman perspective, he can verify it. It's logistically, you know, accurate. And from news perspective, being an electrical engineer, he can verify the capabilities of it. Yeah. So there's checks and balances. So if I'm not doing something right, one of the three of you can test what you've seen or what I've given you to know whether or not it's true. I'm actually doing it, and am I moving forward, so on and so forth. Right. You know what I mean? Just like in some cases, you know, like certain veteran organizations that I've reached out to try and help me figure it out. MOT can verify one or two of them because he's seen the correspondence. So that's how we do the testing. So that way, if I'm not present and anybody comes up here like with that nonsense, I got Lawrence just blowing smoke, MOT could be like, no. This dude's not blowing smoke. New could be like, nah, man, I've seen the schematics, dude. This is the blueprints. I've seen this shit. Same thing with you. Not only have you seen it, but you've helped me figure out some of the basic layout for the programs. So we have checks and balances in place for that testing to happen. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know, and there's and to be honest, there's plenty of very intelligent and business reputable brothers in this space who can attest to the information that you give, whether it's quality or not, coming from Morning Blue to Judge Zilla, Yuri, whenever he's not busy, as well as even Zero. So
well, like I said, I mean,
and Marco too. Marco, I mean, he's no slouch. I mean, there's a reason why he's able to do and live the lifestyle that he's able to live. So
yeah, absolutely. And it's the same thing, you know, because there's something you said to me about the travel thing in the shelter that I'm not going to get into here, but that's something I want to talk to Marco about, and because I got an idea for it. And then when I'm
great,
and then I'm also I'm still doing the configuration for the computer systems and the servers for it, you know. And as soon as I finish fleshing out exactly what I need and how I need it and why, shit, man, Zero's getting a phone call.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's how you build a brotherhood, an organization, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, so. And we got plenty other tech guys in space. I mean, from game changer to
that's right.
sole provider as well. They all have.
That's correct.
All have a extreme amount of knowledge in that. So,
and it just depends on what specific aspect of it. Networking might be one of them. Configuration and building might be another, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'll probably need all three of them, to be quite frank.
Oh, and golly, I'm leaving out Zone, freaking.
That's right, Zone. Yeah, that's right.
Skynet himself.
And
I believe on specialists too.
Oh man, I haven't.
I forgot checking for you also.
Yeah, checking for you. I thought checking for you was accounting.
No, like he has some tech information he could provide.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, nice.
So, oh God, and God, and you know, so many of them run over there in the circles of sole providers that come on the channel, as well as I think even Ike.
Really?
Yeah.
Ike's
the
tech company.
Yes.
I thought Ike was an engineer.
the thing is a lot of the thing is a lot of them end up
cross training.
Yeah.
Cross training. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I think he is an engineer.
You were borking Black Curls.
But on specialist, welcome to the panel.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hey, shalom.
Peace, Chief.
Shalom, Lawrence, and to the rest of the panel too. Yeah, I'm pretty good and an interesting conversation here. Just to really short on the topic.
Yeah. So Sober Rider said there, I was a system engineer and tech sales combo. He graduated in civil engineering. So
check out what Paul said after.
Yeah, that's what I said. He graduated in
civil
engineering.
Yeah. So civil engineering. Nice.
My bad, I'm specialist. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. So yeah, to go on the primary topic. Yeah, I think that's definitely important when it comes to pretty much anything dealing with people, dealing with, as you guys were talking about as well, things like stock and so on as well. It's always ill-advised to follow or do anything based off of the hype, or simply because it's popular. Because basically, you can do whatever you want, but that doesn't mean whatever you want to do is beneficial to you. So I'd say overall it's definitely something that is worth being discussed, and I'm glad we're having the conversation. So I'm gonna see where I could fit in as things progress, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, but based on what you said, it's kind of goes back to a phrase that I taught all my kids. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I'm pretty sure we've all heard that phrase. So
in some form, yeah, in some form.
Yeah, in some form or the other. Yeah, we've heard it.
Word, son.
Yeah, and then there's another phrase I like to use. I used to tell them when they were growing up too. There's the right answer, the wrong answer, and no answer at all. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you can make all three simultaneously.
Wow.
Much, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the very first ones that I actually started teaching them when they could start grasping the concept and stuff like that. And I learned that myself the hard way. I don't know if I got the phrase from somewhere else or if I made it up myself. I honestly don't know, but I did make it a point to teach them that. I think that's an important lesson. Regardless of gender, regardless of generation, every human being should know that. I do.
I agree. Brownbird, welcome. Well, I guess you and Black Girls, but welcome back.
It's been a long time coming, yo. It's 10, 15 minutes, yo. I couldn't wait. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys are just touching on everything that I feel like is really needed to be said. I just think that at the scope of things, I think that in this generation, with us as like so-called Black men, we're putting our foot down in this generation than before. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I shouldn't talk out of turn because I wasn't there. But as far as I'm concerned, through history and what's happening now, a lot of people have to realize it's like it's only so much you can take until you say, hey, look, listen, I'm setting the guidelines over here. Whatever you decide to do is whatever you decide to do. But for me, in order for my progression, this is what I'm going to have to set the rules down. And anybody who wants to come along with me, we can progress together. So, that's why I say, a lot of people don't understand things at the surface level. They're just looking for a reason to be negative, And yeah, man, that's what I'm thinking. But go ahead, brothers.
No, I get your point. Because I've been saying that for a couple of years now, especially where women are concerned, because I'll listen to them. They say the same nonsense as always, but I always let them know at the end of whatever conversation it was, you are going to have to understand, like any other creature on this planet, you can only push so far before pushback comes to you, and that's facts, because everybody. Whether it be a group or individually, everybody has a line in the sand where they say enough is enough. I mean, not to make fun, but as Popeye would say, what I can't stands no more. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
That's it.
Right.
That's it. That's it. But yeah, we're probably not going to go too much longer. But man, this has been uh, great discussion here. Just testing. It's something that it's necessary uh, to not just follow blindly um, the advice and the beliefs of individuals. It's so important to test and make sure that it is what it is, that it's of good use to you. Because I mean, as we all see in this space, we know a lot of people here. They're not here to be of any benefit to you. So,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
That's a good
so you
point.
have to expect the same thing out in the world as well. Especially,
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And it's the same thing I always said, man. Keep your head down. Focus on you. And because at the end of the day, the only the only true path to peace comes from yourself. You know what I'm saying? Becoming what you want to be, being happy with who you are, being comfortable in your own skin, living the life that you seek for yourself. You know what I mean? And like the saying goes, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else. But overall, true peace does not come from friendships. It doesn't come from relationships. It doesn't come from the dynamic of family relations or anything like that. I mean, they can enhance it absolutely, but
hmm
true peace can only come from the inner space of yourself. So seek it,
right.
seek it. And then for some of us, it's being the best at our careers. For others, it's a spiritual relationship with the Most High. For others, it could be video games. For somebody, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Anything.
But yeah, it could be anything. But at the end of the day, it has to be your choice. You have to be comfortable with it. You have to stand in it, and you have to move forward and progress with it. Because whatever you're doing, if it doesn't create forward progression, then it's a waste of your time.
Right.
Right.
I agree. Our specialist, you had something you sound like you wanted to say?
Nah, if since you said we're not going much longer, I guess I could make this my closing statement.
Oh,
Um, the sentiment of the topic and of what everyone would have expressed on the panel is important, and I'd say especially important for younger persons like myself, because when you come into different group spaces or even just society as a whole, like transitioning from a teenager to an adult, how you interact with society and how society interacts with you as is a lot different. um just from between high school and just being an adult, is a totally different situation. You're now treated and expected to be accountable for your actions. You don't get a pass for a lot of things, especially as a young man. So what I would say is that testing everything is critical. We're talking your influences, we're talking your sources of information, wherever you choose that to be. We're also talking things that you just observe around you and deal with in your everyday life. That could also include as well your circle, your friends, and people you may deal with at work as well. And ultimately, the goal of testing everything, because while you can't eliminate risk, is to minimize risk and minimize unnecessary risk. I think that's the biggest part. You don't want to be putting yourself in unnecessary danger because you chose to be you basically chose to be naive because you failed to properly inform yourself about what's happening around you. And I'd say that especially for persons on YouTube, because as we would have seen a couple of times, maybe even this week, um, guys that have a lot of young persons' ears, and they're not necessarily testing what they hear, and it could, could potentially be of detriment to them. So that's definitely important. And the last thing I'm going to say is just to endorse what you previously said, Eisen, and that's some people are not looking out for your best interest. They don't really care about your outcomes. They only care about what they could get from you. And to that end, they're going to make you feel good, because making you feel good is what they want, right?
Right.
But you feeling good doesn't necessarily equal a good outcome. You having unprotected sex with a stripper might feel good, but the outcome and everything else around it could very well be the opposite. So all in all, that's the summary, and definitely test everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Great great points there, our specialist, and thank you for coming on. I always appreciate good logical information over here. Um, Black Curls. We're gonna be wrapping up your closing
Oh, I'd like to
statement.
add to Unspecialist point.
Go ahead. You there? Sounds like you may be having connection difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has connection issues.
Yeah. All right. Well then, Brown Bird.
Yo, yeah, I'm a hop off after this closing statement.
Okay.
Ultimately, what I gather, number one, I'm proud of all of you brothers in the manosphere space, all the brothers that's connecting virtually. Um, some of the women that might be quote unquote red pill who understand the nonsense of their own women, because thank God they starting to realize it. That's just my opinion. But let me put it into this thing. Testing reminds me of to me, it reminds me the analogy of hiking. You travel, the ultimate goal is to get to the other side. And, you move through the snakes of the trails to get to where you need to get to. The trailblazers as guides. And those could be your friends. Those could be people who know knowledge more than you and the things that you're interested in. And also say the idea of testing and I guess, how do I say it? The pitfalls, like the things that is challenging you reminds me of like the stems or like like the branches that fall down on that trail. Do you move over it? Do you jump over it? Do you find an alternative route? Or do you just say, well, freak it, it's not going to get me to the other side because it's just too in the way of what I'm trying to do, which is move to the other side. And ultimately, everybody's journey in life is to get to the other side. Now, you have people who just say, hey, forget it, I don't want to do it. Some people that just want to complain that the branch is there, and certain people that's just like, well, screw it. If I have to bulldoze it myself or find a way to move around it, then that's what I'm going to do. But ultimately, testing reminds me of a part of a journey. And I think with people who understand themselves and think on a higher level, the journey is timeless. You call it quits when you're done with your journey, when you choose to. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, if you're more spiritual like I am, you understand that regardless of whatever happens, the journey is still going to be there, whether I'm in my late 20s right now or when I get into my 40s and my 50s and my 60s. It never changes. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't stop just because of my age. You know what I'm saying? It only becomes more of an elevation as I get older. So that's my take on it. But you already know. And nice hearing from you guys again. And I'll see y'all on the next stream. Peace.
All right, shalom, shalom,
Peace.
shalom.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And of course, last but not least, Lawrence Guy.
Oh, I'd like to put in a request that, how about we dump vetting and use testing instead? that would be cool. We'll leave vetting for the bitches and all that other stuff, but I'd like testing for us. I mean, other than what I said before about forward progression and being true to yourself and following, your own path and not what people expect of you or society demands of you and all that good stuff. I really don't have much left to say. Just hashtag men first.
Right. Got you. And, like I said, it's been a great stream, good informational.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Just one more thing.
Cool.
How would you feel about picking this topic up again for next Sunday, or do you have something else planned?
Sure, we can. We can. We can do it. We can do it.
Just a thought. I think it's an important conversation that could go for a bit longer.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We can do testing. I can look at I mean, heck, there's multiple scriptures in there that even talk about as far as testing and trying to make sure that it is what is
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I mean, there's one in there that talks about you'll know a tree by the fruit. So that's
yeah. Mm-hmm. The tree by the fruit, a man by his labor, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I think it's a good foundation to actually build upon.
Okay.
To go into everything else, but again, I'm just asking because I know you got other stuff planned, so I'm just asking.
No, it sounds great. I think, I mean, it's definitely something to build off of. Yeah, we can do that, and then I can get back to my niggas want welfare series.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I mean, the story of Moses proves that.
It does. And a quick shout out to Wadner. I mean, I meant to do it earlier. With the fasting thing. Yeah. Good work, man. Good work. Just if you just started though, don't overdo it, man.
Yeah. And I got to shout out my guy Marco El Grande.
Yeah, man. Marco.
Thanks for the cash out, brother. And he always knows that he is welcome to bring on the Agon questions whenever he has them on whatever the topic is. He always provides good questions that are very introspective that we can use to help us build ourselves as far as what's the word I'm looking for? Internally, for internal growth.
Actually, I mean, if you do this next Sunday, I'd love Marco to come up.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to come up today.
Yeah,
but hopefully,
because that foundation and that introspection and all that good stuff, like I said, he drops those questions that put you in that frame of mind to do that. Right. So yeah, I mean, if he's listening, yeah, man, I definitely come up next Sunday for sure.
Oh yeah. He provides Marco provides great information as well. Outside of the bitches, how to operate outside of that, he provides a wealth of information of how you should operate as men.
Well, that's why I mean, no offense to him, but I have a tendency to focus more when he's not talking about bitches.
Well, yeah, and I think the thing is too that a lot of the information he provides. I mean, like I said, the one thing that I picked out most about his lifestyle was the freedom. Him being able to set his life up in a way to where he can have the freedom to travel and do the things that he enjoys doing. While I know that the niggas are going to focus on the aspect of the hoes, as Zero said. But for me, the most important thing was the freedom. And so that kind of made me kind of brought clarity to as far as where I want to go, as far as making my next move in a career change for my life, to find out what I wanted to do. So I always appreciate Marco for that information.
But that's what I worry about. That's what I worry about with a lot of brothers when they listen to him, because and it's not his fault in any capacity. But it's just that. It's just like you said, they're missing the point of what he's teaching because they're too busy focusing on the ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a frame of thinking that has to be moved out of, if possible. Because, like I said, not everybody can do it.
Exactly.
But a lot of people, even when he's talking about old holes, a lot of people miss the nuances of what he's saying.
Yes.
Because all they're hearing is holes or pillow fights or whatever it is. But they're missing the nuance of what he's saying. It's not about the pillow fights. It's not about the old holes. What he's trying to explain to you, at least from my perspective, is how do you move as a man within your frame to go in the directions that you want to. The old holes are just a side benefit of that, but that's not the game plan.
Well, he wouldn't consider the old holes a benefit at all. That's the other thing.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Not using the right term. Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. That is true. But the fact is that he's trying to teach you to navigate the space of manhood and who you are as a human being. Like I said, the holes that he's dealing with, it's a tool just to get your attention long enough for you to listen to him. But they're not paying attention. They're just looking at the ass, and they're missing the nuances of what he's saying. Yeah. So,
and one of the most other valuable things he says is, you never listen to old hoes.
Never.
He's right. He's right.
And if you have any doubt, whenever you are ready to listen to one, just think about your mom.
Ooh. Oh man, you heard somebody. You poked their heart with that one. You poked their heart.
But that's what I do. Whenever there's an older woman who starts saying something to me, my mother pops in my head, and I'm like, okay, I know the frame of mind. Piss off.
Well, the reason why I say you poked their heart with that is because the truth be told,
men don't want to think of their mama that way. I know.
Yeah, exactly. They can't do it. But look, your mama was busting it open for somebody before you got here. So
she was busting it open. That's how you got here.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, let's be real.
It might not have been with your daddy, but anyways, well, who you think your daddy is? But anyways,
look, man. I'm sorry, I had to get that out.
No, you're right. Yeah, and he ain't the only one. Plumber too. Mario. Soon, hopefully, we'll be working on something with Sigma Jones here to bring some more needed type of content. Not sure if it's going to be on his channel or mine, but we'll hash out all those here soon. Nice. But we'll do something to let you know that. And I think it'll be something that'll be great and fun. And I know it's definitely something that we can all apply to our everyday lives. And but that's all I got at this time. I want to thank those who came out, participated on the panel, those who were in the chat, and those who were just listening. Thank you all, and peace.